Welcome back to the Spar Scene MMA Show. This weekend, we're back with our best bets. We're going to give our best bets for this weekend's fight night, Dolidze and Imavov. But before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and all the socials below. We're posting a lot of new clips and new content for you guys. We even have an interview out with Truck and Carson, an up-and-coming fighter that just came out last weekend. So check that out. But like I said, let's get into the best bets for this weekend.
Oh, show me the money, huh? Show me the money.
So to kick things off, first off, we're going to do one bet each. And then at the end of this, we're going to call it the Spar Scene Parlay. So if one of us messes up the parlay, someone's in trouble. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say it first. So someone's in trouble. So I'm going to make it interesting, actually. So my fight, the Randy Brown versus Wellington Turman. Wellington is an underdog in this fight and like a plus 210. However, I think he can get the win this weekend. If you look at Randy's last fight against Wellington, Wellington was doing well that first round. He was kicking the calf. They had some exchanges. Randy Brown wasn't too aggressive. He was more just kind of like Kevin Holland. They're very similar in their styles. They'll touch you. They'll use their range to get the jab. But they're not dangerous. They're not going to put you out. He hasn't won by knockout or submission like in years. It's all by decision. Muslim Salikhov, dude, he's dangerous. His fight against Nicholas Dalby was close. Outside of those second and third round, it was a close fight. He won the first round, in my opinion. But Nicholas Dalby, of course, you saw against Bonfim. Like, he's a dog. Like, he's going to be there the whole fight. But I think Muslim, at first round against Nicholas Dalby, he was doing a lot of calf kicks. And I think he can use that same strategy against Randy Brown. Wellington did it the first round, but he stopped. I think that's when things started to go Randy's way. So I think he can win this fight, and he's an underdog, and I think it can make the odds pretty juicy for this parlay.
That's a good call. Yeah, Muslim Salikhov's got underrated striking, dude. Spinning techniques, just crazy taekwondo stuff. I'm going to piggyback off that pick with another underdog pick, but it's a very close underdog. We have in the co-main event, Renato Moicano versus Drew Dober. Lightweight division, we got Renato at number 13, Drew Dober at number 15. Now, these dudes have a mess of fights between them. Drew Dober's got 40 fights altogether professionally. A lot more than Renato has. And they've both taken a lot of damage, but Renato's been put out a lot. He used to fight at 145. He was coming up, but he got derailed by that fight against Brian Ortega. He was piecing him up. Anyone who hasn't seen that fight, go and check it out. It's excellent. He's piecing him up. He's hurting him. And then all of a sudden, Brian Ortega becomes a Terminator, starts walking through those shots and submits him with a guillotine. So in that fight, we learned a little bit that maybe he can be overpowered a little bit at 145. He goes up to 155. And listen, with the exception of his loss to Fiziev, which was a KO, unfortunately, in that case, he's looked excellent. He's submitted most people by rear naked choke. Now, at the same token, Drew Dober, he's been lightweight his whole career, long career, Bellator. He's had a decision against Will Brooks that didn't go his way back in the day. But excellent guy, and he's got a lot of hard-fought victories. I saw him against Frank Camacho in Charlotte. Excellent fight in the UFC. He's starting to get to that peak level of his career where I feel like he's figuring things out. I listen to his interviews. His fight IQ is improving. His power is incredible. And we look at his recent performances, Terrence McKinney KO, Bobby Green, beautiful KO, and he was overcoming, getting pieced up. His chin is still, oddly enough, very intact. Renato Moicano's chin is the question for me. Up at 155, his submission skills are incredible, but he's got to take Drew down to get there. Drew's takedown defense is incredible. His wrestling is incredible. My take on this, I think Drew Dober is going to overpower him. I think he's going to time that jab rangefinder with an overhand, just like Chan Sung Jung did, the Korean Zombie, KO'd Renato that way. I could see that happening. And listen, all eyes are on Drew Dober this weekend as Saturday. I think he's a guy who's very marketable, great personality. I feel like he's got a good future. And outside of Makhachev, I'm not sure there's a lot of people that can just take him down easily, just like Islam did. So all eyes on you, Drew. Good luck on Saturday, man.
You know what I didn't realize? Drew Dober is 35 years old.
Mm-hmm. getting there for both of these boys.
He looks young. He looks like he's 25, 28.
Yeah.
He's
That
baby
chin,
face.
dude.
I mean, he's got that big old knocked head.
All right. So to top off the Spar Scene parlay, I was questioning this fight. I'm gonna go with the main event. So for my pick, I'm gonna go with the Roman Dolidze and Nassourdine Imavov fight. This was a tough choice for me because both guys have okay records. They haven't really had any super impressive wins, but at the same time, like during their fights, they show that they do have a lot of talent, that they do belong in the rankings. Both guys are predominantly really good at striking. They like to stay active on the feet. So I'm hoping for a fight night in the Apex that this is entertaining. You just never know what you're gonna get when it comes to the Apex. Especially with these guys who like don't have a deep history. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was super surprised to see Dolidze as the underdog in this fight. I feel like he's the more complete fighter. He has better grappling. I think he won like 80cc Asia. I have to go back and check on that, but he's proven to be a really good grappler. We saw in the Hermanson fight, the calf slicer, and he was like he took him out with the TKO. And then both guys have questionable cardio. So I think that's going to come. Dolidze's grappling is going to come in handy if this goes 5 rounds. Because Imavov likes to come out swinging. He likes to come out with a lot of energy. And he's proven he can stay for 5 rounds. He stayed 5 rounds with Strickland, the ex-champ. So he can stay in there for 5 rounds. But these guys come out swinging. Like that grappling is going to come in handy for Dolidze. Only thing I'm worried about is Imavov coming in there and just swinging and just kind of taking Dolidze out quick. I could definitely see that happening, but I think I'm gonna take advantage of the more complete fighter being the underdog at plus 140. So it's not a bad pick. I think he has a little bit more talent. He's been training at Extreme Couture, so I think hopefully that cardio is going to help him for the 5 rounds. So to top off the Spar Scene parlay, I'm gonna take Roman Dolidze at plus 140, just money line.
So Simon, would I be crazy if he's at Extreme Couture? Does that mean he's with Eric Nixick?
Yes, I think that's where he's been training. I know he goes back and forth between Georgia and Extreme Couture, but I'm assuming Eric Nixon's going to be in his corner. I would have to check his last fight, but
yeah, that's a huge sign. We look at Francis, we look at Sean Strickland, man. Nixick's on fire, so we shall see.
I mean, yeah, last weekend though, Chris Curtis barely snuck out a win. Sean Strickland lost this fight. So they've been cold. They had a hot streak. Now they're cooling down a little bit.
Well, maybe you can heat it back up. Turn the microwave on. But before we head out of this, what was you guys' like complete picks again? Just to go over it. Brad,
so my pick was Muslim Salikhov over Randy Brown.
And money line?
Money line.
Okay.
It's a big under 210, I think, underdog.
I've got Drew Dober money line over Renato Moicano. I don't trust him to completely KO him because Renato's chin looks pretty good up in the weight class, but I definitely got the money line on Drew Dober.
All right, guys, and there you go. There's the Spar Scene parlay.
Is that our Spar Scene hat on? What is that? Are you repping the hat backwards today?
Oh, mine? No. I just got back from jiu-jitsu class and
I mean, come on, guys.
Showered
the merch from the show.
There you go.
I mean, guys,
merch from the show, man.
Merch is coming out.
You gotta always rep the merch. Listen,
backwards, you can't see it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What I need like socks. I need shirts. I need sock garters made by Spar Scene. We need everything. Spar Scene lingerie. I need everything.
Yeah, and our fans do too, man. We got like 47 of them, subscribers. So make sure you guys subscribe. If you guys hit this parlay, you guys can buy some Spar Scene merch when it comes out. And we'll be posting the Spar Scene parlay on Instagram, so you guys can check that out. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.